What's up, everybody? It is Fantasy Endgame, and we're here ready to do our very last mock draft before the NFL draft. Because it's tomorrow, and we will be live breaking down everything that happens. A lot of chaos is sure to ensue. Probably not going to be too much chaos in this draft, but let's see for one last time before everything changes. What do we think about the rookies and where they might go? And what do we think about the veterans who might soon get displaced? You want to draft with us? Well, here's your chance. Go ahead and jump on it. The link is now live. So get in there. These have been filling in about 10 seconds or less. So I am at the 3 spot. Chris, you stuck yourself in the middle. You want to challenge yourself before the draft? That's very good. Got the 6.
Yeah, I figure why not? Why not? You don't always get the spot you want in your drafts. You gotta jump all around in these.
That's exactly right. Try to jump around. I don't think I've been early in the draft lately, so I figured 3. Didn't go 1. All right, and we're full. Looks like we're ready
full.
to go.
Let's go. And it is a half PPR draft, by the way. Just keep that in mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we usually full PPR, sometimes half, never standard, or should I say non-PPR. Not really standard anymore, is it?
We got a stinger in here. No, it's not. It's not really standard anymore. Why is it called standard? It should be called like non-standard.
Yeah,
good point.
Something. All right, CMC off the board. Half PPR. You know what? Let's go. Let's go running back early.
Ooh. I really think we're gonna see Bijan. I mean, we're already seeing him creep up on these underdog drafts. I really think by the time we get to draft season, he's gonna be a top 5 pick, if not higher.
Oh yeah, definitely. Stinger is in the house, and then looks like Bravante is at the 12. Push Enterprise. All right, welcome.
All right, we got Ronnie. We got Clayton here to draft all the 49ers and maybe the ex-49ers when he drafts Brandon Ayuk. We'll see.
How incredibly sad will Clayton be if Brandon Ayuk is no longer 49er? I don't know.
Probably very sad. Probably very sad.
Yeah. Well, a lot of noise, but look, there's a lot of noise about everything and anything. I think today, I mean, I should have been at that point long ago, but today I was like, anything even remotely related to NFL draft, I'm just not even going to look because it's just all smoke right now. We're like, oh, all these teams, every team is going to trade up for a quarterback in the top 5. That's not possible.
Right.
All right. Sorry, Dan, you missed it. Yeah, they've been filling up very quick lately. Just wait till after the NFL draft, but
yeah,
we'll do more.
Exactly.
Don't worry. All right, Stinger, see what you got.
Ooh. Might be the earliest we've seen Marvin.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing him early second consistently, but not first receiver off the board second early, I don't think.
Clayton, one last time getting that 49er wide receiver.
Yeah.
Well, Clayton, will you still be drafting Brandon Ayuk in the second round if he gets traded? I don't like. Where are they? The Steelers? I mean, come on, we're not drafting him in the second round if he goes to the Steelers, are we?
Steelers? There's no way. There's no way.
Isn't that like the rumor? Isn't that the rumor? Steelers?
Yeah, there would gotta be other teams involved, but still, I don't think he gets traded.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I'm just saying, like, if he got traded to the Steelers, because that's who they're rumoring him, but I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, can we really be in on any Steelers right now?
No. The Stinger's saying he's not familiar with ADP yet. I mean, look, Sleeper's ADP is better than it was a few weeks ago, but I still wouldn't trust Sleeper ADP. Still not great.
Yeah, don't go just by the ADP.
No.
Okay, maybe the first time I've been able to get Drake London, especially this late in the second.
He was the one. If I didn't go Saquon there, if I didn't go running back there, I would have gone Drake London. Definitely.
Yeah, we're seeing Pittman creep up. He was third round. Now he's entering the second round, at least in our drafts.
Yeah. Yeah, notice he's still like, but I feel like he's creeping up. Like I feel like in the last underdog draft we did, he was creeping up too.
True. This is true.
Oh yeah, Stinger with the astute. You got the Falcons stack. Now you got to get Kirk Cousins as your QB. You got Robinson, you got London, you got to get Cousins as your QB now.
Do I? Maybe I do. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's fine. Hey, it's still just a mock. Yeah, I didn't mean to go Falcon. I'm going for value, but apparently I'm in on the Falcons.
Yeah, Ayuk to the Bills on draft night would be crazy. I'm here for it just for the chaos, the craziness, the excitement. I'm here for it. I'm here for the Bills pulling that off.
Yeah, that would be something. But I'm not holding my breath for that to happen.
Although I will say, if you believe I don't know what you call them, the draft experts, I guess, the guys who really are in tune with the teams and all the players, not just the fantasy relevant players, but the defensive players, everything. A lot of them are saying, there's not a lot of great defensive, like top tier talent in this draft, and they think we could see more offensive skill position players go in the first round than we usually do. So hopefully we do, because that will make for a more exciting draft.
And none of them are going to be running backs. We know that. So more receivers. It's funny because a lot of people are saying that, they're probably only 4, maybe even just the top 3 receivers that are really first round talents. I bet you we see at least 5, 6 receivers go, because teams now are building around elite wideouts, or who they think are elite wideouts. No running backs going to get taken this year. There's one and only one tight end that would go early. So obviously that's going to happen with Bowers. But yeah, I think we're going to see a fair amount of receivers go early.
I regret not taking Drake London now, because the wide receivers are gone.
Yeah, they're so good. Like I could have taken Devontae Smith. I got Devontae Adams. DJ Moore still solid, but I know.
Well, yeah, but those guys aren't on the board for me at this point.
No Nico.
No, not this early, and I can't do DK this early. I'm not calling DK Metcalf a bust, because DK Metcalf will probably be what DK Metcalf is, right? He'll have like a few really good games where you're super happy you started him. He'll probably have like 4 or 5 games you're like, yeah, he was fine. And then he'll probably the rest of the time just be like mediocre. But I can't do that. I can't pull the trigger on that in the 3rd round. I can't do it.
Yeah, feels too soon. So, okay, you got another workhorse back. It's half PPR, so
yeah. I mean, it does help being half PPR. If this was full PPR, I definitely would not like it as much. But
yeah, I think whatever Buffalo does or doesn't do at wide receiver will have a big domino effect. That receiver will obviously vault up in value. Maybe Dalton Kincaid isn't drafted as high. I'm pretty sure Curtis Samuel won't be drafted as high. It's kind of insane where his rank is right now. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
What if? Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I could see the Bills going Ladd McConkey, but maybe like round 3. Like I don't think they're gonna. I hope they don't invest a 1st round pick in Ladd McConkey.
I don't think that would happen, but you never know. Yeah, so that's the question is, what if it's kind of like an in-between thing? It's like, okay, they take a receiver, but not 1st round, not early. It's like a projectable, like good, but not amazing prospect. Like, do you think that guy, maybe it's a McConkey or somebody like that, you think that guy gets overvalued then just because he's with Buffalo?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
think.
But if they did do that, let's say they waited till like round 3 and they got like a McConkey or somebody like that. It's like, okay, I think that at least makes me feel better about the other, like the Dalton Kincaids, the Curtis Samuels. Like, okay, these guys can all coexist in this offense. And I like McConkey. Look, don't get me wrong, I like McConkey, but I don't think McConkey is like an elite alpha. Wide receiver.
No, definitely not.
Did I miss him getting? He didn't get picked already. I'm on a running back. Like, he didn't get picked.
That feels like really good value for Zay.
Yeah, it makes you feel better about that Josh Jacobs pick for sure. Or I guess it's more like, I don't mind. No, I think the Jacobs pick is fine. It's more like I was between Barkley and Drake London. Not that I think like Barkley was a bad pick or anything, but you always run the risk when you take that running back that the wide receiver who makes it back to you is terrible.
That's true. You know what? Feels a little early, but just because I don't think I've gotten him at all, I'm doing it. I'm going Trey McBride.
There you go.
A lot of noise about the Chargers taking anything but an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Do you really think that happens?
The only way this seems possible is if they trade down. I can't imagine they're using the number 6 pick. Is that what they have this year? Number 6? Is that right? Do I remember that right? 7? 6 or 7?
5 or 6. Oh.
Yeah, 5 or 6. I can't imagine them using that pick on a tight end, especially not that Brock Bowers isn't like the consensus number 1 tight end. I mean, he easily is, but Brock Bowers is not a guy known for his blocking, right? He's not a super big guy for a tight end. He's not out there to block. He's out there to catch passes. And I don't think that's really okay. Thanks, Stinger. They had the 5 pick. I knew it was like 5 or 6. I don't think that's going to be the Chargers' identity this year. They're either going alt with that pick if he's still on the board, or I think they trade down, or they trade down. Which if they trade down, then maybe if Bowers falls to them, maybe, but probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people want them to draft a Neighbors or maybe a Bowers somebody. It's pretty much, if I was gonna put any sort of money down on a pick for the NFL draft, it would be probably the Chargers taking offensive lineman. So.
Yeah. Now, I could definitely see this. Stinger saying Vikings trade up with Chargers. I could see it if one of the teams in the top 4 like did something crazy and took Joe Alt.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
And then the Chargers are like, okay, let's just move down to 11. Let's get pick 11, pick 23, maybe like a 5th or a 4th or whatever the fair value is. I don't know. I could see that, but more than likely, because I mean, the only team I could really even see maybe, like, I mean, I guess maybe the Patriots, if they really aren't sold on the quarterbacks, maybe they go Joe Alt. That feels like a Patriots move.
That would be a Belichick move for sure, but they need. I mean, there's a team that probably needs quarterback the most. It's the Patriots. So, yeah. And look, anything is. Is there a scenario? Sure, there's definitely a possibility, but I don't know.
Yeah, my guess is we see Caleb, and then May and Daniels in some order at 2 and 3, Harrison at 4, Alt at 5, and then it gets cloudy after that.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's for sure. There's still a lot up in the air because, like you said, a lot of times you get those defensive players taken in the first round. It doesn't feel like there's a lot projected this year. So, are you went Rashi Rice? Happy with him there, mid
Well,
round 5.
now I feel like he's falling too far. You know, like early in the offseason, he was like a second round pick, and I was like, that's insane. But now, like middle of the 5th round, I feel like now he's fallen too far. I think people are too worried about the legal stuff. I know Stinger just dropped it up. I mean, look, even if he misses 2 or 3 games, that's really in the grand scheme of things, that's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's still speculation. Multi-game suspension could be 2, could be 3. I doubt it's 6. If it's 6, okay, that's significant enough. You got to drop him more. But I mean, really, do you expect 6, 4
I mean,
even?
There was video of Alvin Kamara like kicking that dude while he was on the ground already. And he got 3. Look, I know. Look, it could have been worse, right? Maybe somebody could have died. It was a high speed, accident. But nobody. I don't even think anybody even got injured in it. And sadly, whether it should be that way or not, that matters. That definitely matters, right? So, yeah, I'd be surprised if it's more than 3. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's 0. Remember, we're in April. The season doesn't start till August. There's probably going to be 2 more huge legal issues for some players between now and August, and then we're going to forget all about Rashi Rice.
Yeah, that's sadly true. That it'll get overshadowed by something else pretty soon.
Right. So, look, I always said this. Like, I never said like, oh, I think Rashi Rice is going to be a bust. Well, I did say that when he was a prospect, and he proved me wrong. He was better than I thought last year. But like in this draft cycle, like this offseason, I never said like, oh, I think Rashi Rice is going to be a bust. I'm not touching him. I said Rashi Rice in the 2nd round is crazy to me. Just crazy.
Yeah.
5th round, I'll take Rashi Rice.
Oh yeah. No, 2nd round was always too much. So might be. Yeah, this might be too far. I'm surprised to see him go down to the 5th, but most drafts I don't think he will. Although this is because it's still fresh. This whole thing, this incident, now the rumors of the suspension, it's still fresh in everybody's mind. But by the time we get to training camp, and we know even if it is just 2 or 3 games, yeah.
Remember how worried everybody was about Jordan Addison last year? We thought for sure Alvin Kamara was getting 6 games, maybe more. He ended up getting 3.
Yeah. Forget it's the NFL.
Exactly. All right, I'm going to snipe you on your Falcon stack, even though you already have Trey McBride.
Oh yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to go that Falcon heavy.
And I think we talked about this either on Sunday or last week. It's funny how like the Chiefs signed Marquise Brown, and it's like people are like, "Oh, I'm not worried at all for Rashi Rice. I'm going to keep drafting him in the 2nd round." And then off the field thing happens, and it's like, oh, but now I'm out. And it's like, wait, the Marquise Brown thing is going to affect him more than the car accident for sure.
It's true. Well, what happens if they do draft a wide receiver?
Well, now if they draft a wide receiver that's actually like not terrible, which their track record of drafting wide receivers lately has not been great. And let's be real, even their Tyreek Hill pick, I mean, they only got Tyreek Hill as late as they did because he really should not have even been allowed in the NFL, let's be honest. And teams did not even want to touch him. And so the Chiefs were like, okay, we'll take a gamble on him, and it worked out. Like, their track record for drafting wide receivers has not been very good. But if they do draft a wide receiver I really like, I mean, that's really going to mess things up. Not only for Rice, but for everybody, except for Mahomes, of course. It'll be great for Mahomes.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be, a lot of people feel like you're trying to make it happen, like want that to happen. Doesn't mean it will. But
Right.
Never know. Definitely.
Man, the Kyler Murray discount is over.
Yeah, I mean, I even thought, oh, wait another round or two. I thought I could put him together with Trey McBride, but apparently not. I'm gonna wait on quarterback still.
Well, you got to get Cousins. You get Cousins last round. Cousins, you're fine. Last round, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I'll consider it. Let's see. Mostert going in what, round 7. Okay. So, I'll do here. Gonna take a player I have not taken at all. I'm gonna go old at running back. I'd say old. He's like 9:30.
I was actually considering him if he made it to me, because I do feel like this is pretty fair value for him this year.
Yeah, I can mix and match my my old men here. My 28-year-old Alvin Kamara, my 29-year-old Aaron Jones.
All right, man. All right, well, the draft is tomorrow. Let's go with a rookie. This is him, right? Let me. Okay, they don't have. They don't have a junior on there. I'm like, is this some other Brian? Am I drafting the wrong guy? All right. That's Brian Thomas Jr., just in case it's not right, but I did. I clicked on it to make sure.
Yeah, who was it? Someone took last week. It wasn't Jonathan Brooks. It was like Jason Brooks or somebody.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, wait, this is the right Brian Thomas, right?
Yeah. Brian Thomas, which a lot of people have mocked potentially if he does go to, let's say, a team like Buffalo. Is he going to be overdrafted or way overdrafted?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. If he goes to Buffalo, he's way overdrafted. Way overdrafted. But I think he'll get picked before Buffalo's picked. But maybe Buffalo trades up. It's always possible. And let's talk about this, because I know we're going to get this a lot this offseason. So Raheem Mostert was awesome last year. I don't even think he was a top 10 running back. I think he was a top 5 running back, actually. Is it crazy that he's going around 7 now?
No, because we expect a lot more Devon Achane. Now, I think people are getting carried away with that, as if we're going to see all Achane and no Mostert. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. But look, Achane, I will admit, I was even surprised how much, when Achane actually was healthy, they did use him. Like, they didn't just give him like 12 carries a game. There was times where he got fed. So second round, like early second round Achane is still too much for me. But I get he should definitely be treated like a number 1 potential fantasy running back. But Mostert shouldn't just be tossed aside either. So I don't think round 7 is. I'm not even actually. I haven't been drafting him this early. I think Mostert's more like around 8-9 pick.
Yeah, and there's also the concern, and I know nobody ever wants to hear it. You know, the year after somebody has a season like Mostert did, they don't want to hear it. But there's also the concern the guy had 21 touchdowns. Like, I don't. Yep. How many touchdowns did he have in his entire career prior to last year? Did he even have 21 total touchdowns in his career? And I'm being dead serious. Like, did he? I don't even know. And then also he's 32 years old. He's coming off a mostly healthy season. I mean, there are certainly some concerns here for Mostert. He doesn't catch passes. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. I get being like, oh my gosh, this guy was so good last year. How can he still be out there? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, there's some worries for sure.
Oh yeah. And it's hard, to really embrace sometimes. You cannot look at what they did last year. You always have to project forward. What is going to happen this year? He is not going to score 20 touchdowns. I mean, there's also the fact that it's a minor miracle he even stayed healthy all season, because that was the thing with Mostert. Why did he not even get drafted last year? Because he's never healthy, ever. So that hasn't gone away. It's not like, oh, well, now he was healthy last year. Now he's all good. Like it's still a very real risk. All right. Waited, bought the dip, got JSN. Happy with that.
So I just looked. Mostert has 40 touchdowns for his career. So he had 19 going into last year. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
he overachieved just a bit last year, I think.
Just a little. Now they have a dynamic new red zone weapon that they're going to use with Jonnu Smith. So they're just going to take some of those touchdowns away. Let's go aging running back who's past his prime or young unproven running back. Let's go young.
I'm really regretting I was going to take where I took Rice, I was going to take Lamar, and now I'm kind of regretting it. Quarterback is looking a bit ugly right now.
No, but there's always good value at quarterback late, so I don't ever regret passing on a quarterback. Dan, if you're still here, by the way, I just realized he had a dynasty question earlier. I'll pop it up on the screen in a second.
I don't even know who I like here, to be honest. Ugh.
I mean, there's always Nick Chubb.
All right. Can't do it. Can't do it with Chubb. Sorry. Can't do it.
All right, Dan Fuller, still here. All right, Dynasty Superflex have Stroud and Fields. Okay, got the 1-9. Who to draft there?
Well, that's impossible. It's impossible to say right now. I know we had a guy. There was one of our members was asking me questions on Discord about like, in the middle of the third round, like, how do you feel about Javon Baker? And I said, like, yeah, I gave my thoughts. And he's like, in the middle of the third round, like, thinking about taking him. I'm like, hey, look, in the middle of the third round, anybody that has a path is fine. Like, anybody that has an actual path is fine. But at the same time, what if he goes undrafted? What if he goes like somewhere crazy we didn't expect, like earlier than we expected? What if he goes, 6th round to some terrible situation? You know what I mean? You can't be thinking about it just yet. You can't be thinking about exactly who you're going to take at the 109 yet. Don't worry about it right now. Monday, everything will be clear. And then we will be able to definitively say, this is who we like at the 109. But I think right now there's no sense in even trying to say who it's going to be.
No, and you could say, well, if, he goes to a good situation, I move him up. If he goes to a bad situation, I move him down, or I just don't draft. But you kind of have to be careful with that too, because what will happen is if you start to view a guy as a certain value in a certain round or whatever, you might still have that anchoring effect where like, okay, I'll move him up or down. But it's like, look, if he goes in round 6 or 7 or goes to like the Patriots or whatever, it's like, you don't have to even consider him at all. And you might need to move him up a lot more than you would have otherwise if he happens to get drafted higher or to a great situation. So, it is really hard. You shouldn't really be trying to value players before the NFL draft.
Right. The only thing I worry about before the NFL draft is just the player himself. How do I feel about this player? How do I feel about him as a pro? What do I think his best role will be? Where do I think he'll be effective? What kind of system will he be effective in? Like, whatever. And then based on that, it's like, I mean, there's some guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, there's some guys. It's like, okay, yeah, he'll be good in any system, right? He'll be good in any system. But then based on that, you see where he gets drafted, and then you try to say, okay, or this is what I do at least. Like, okay, does his role, does his skill sets fit this system, or are they going to try to like pigeonhole him into a role he's not good at, or is somebody in this offense already significantly better at him than what he's good at, and now he's going to have to do stuff he's not good at, like, you know what I mean? And we won't know that until they're drafted. So, yeah,
Exactly. A lot of unknowns, not just what spot or what team a guy goes to, but where matters a lot, and more than we realize. So I guess to try to answer sort of your question, Dan, it's hard to say, but it's a super flex league. You're probably not getting an elite quarterback at the 1-9. No. Probably just target the best receiver available.
Yeah, but what happens if like Trey Benson gets drafted by Dallas in round 2?
Yeah, then maybe, depending on. I mean, it's still a dynasty. I would generally prefer a receiver, but it depends who's available.
All right. Yeah.
Just noticed because Njoku went right before you. Brock Bowers off the board, round 10. I think depending on where he lands, might be the biggest riser in a redraft league like this.
Brock Bowers?
Yeah, I mean, what if he goes to the Jets? I can see people taking him as like a top 5 tight end, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
All right, Amal, I probably didn't snipe you on that pick.
No, I don't really know what I'm doing with this team right now. It's all right.
Not loving your team? Let's see.
It's all right. It just feels like it just feels like one of those fine teams. Solid. I don't like having those type of teams.
Yeah, that's the thing when you are in the middle. It usually there's not a pick that ever kind of jumps out as being like a screaming value or anything like that.
Yeah.
All right, grabbing the backup quarterback. I'll take a chance here.
I don't normally do this, but when I got Kyle Pitts, I'm taking a second tight end. I don't care. I'm doing
it. Yeah. Oh, okay. That leads perfectly into Stinger's question. Is Bowers, talking about him, going to have a Laporta type rookie season or Pitts type rookie season? Which, now remember, even though it doesn't feel like it, Pitts actually had a good rookie season, just not so good since then.
Pitts actually had one of the best tight end rookie seasons of all time. The only thing he was lacking was touchdowns. He only had 1 touchdown, but what do you have, like 80 plus catches over 1,000 yards? I mean, Those are Travis Kelce numbers. He just needed like 8 to 10 touchdowns, and he would have exploded.
Yeah, for a tight end, good.
I think if I had to put money on it, it would be more like a Kyle Pitts season.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get carried away. It really, really, really depends on landing spot. Like if it goes to the Jets, I mean, come on, how much is that offense really throwing the ball? Is he really going to put up prolific numbers? He will get a good target share, I will say that, because outside of Garrett Wilson, there's still not much there. You know, it's Mike Williams coming off injury, whatever. I mean, I don't know where else do we really see Bowers going. We know we talked about Indy. We like the Colts as a landing spot for him. Even there, I don't know how many targets he gets rookie season. Is there another spot where you can really see, okay, that's it now. Bowers is taken off. I mean, I guess technically the Chargers, but
yeah, but even the Chargers, I think people are going to get too excited about whatever wide receiver goes to the Chargers because they are going to draft. They are probably going to draft a wide receiver at some point. I mean, I don't think they can roll into the season with Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnston as their top 2 wide receivers. Maybe I'm wrong. My issue with the Chargers is they're not going to be the same. They're not going to be the Brandon Staley can't play defense. Throw it on 4th and 1. Let's throw the football Chargers anymore. They're going to be the Jim Harbaugh, lean on our defense, run the football, play ugly Chargers because that's what Jim Harbaugh does. So I don't even think that's as good as a landing spot as people think it is. I mean, Jets certainly good, but like you said, they're not going to be super pass heavy. Colts good, but they're also not going to be like insanely pass heavy. And both those teams have an alpha number 1. Now I know the Lions do as well with Amon-Ra. So I think I got to snipe you here. I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay. It makes my decision easier. Oh, yeah, that actually was a snipe, Ronnie. I had Troy Franklin all queued up. I thought people forgot about him. I like him.
JSC is saying Justin Herbert cannon for an arm. You're right, and look, I think Justin Herbert might be more efficient this year, but the problem is the volume. I don't think will be there for him. So, yeah, it's Stinger's right. You have no choice. Come on, you don't have a choice here. You don't have a choice.
There's always a choice. Well,
you got to go Kirk Cousins. Come on.
Well, I mean, 2 is off the board now, obviously.
Exactly. You got to go Cousins now.
But I will say, and I waited. I know I can wait because Amal already has 2 quarterbacks, and AL has Jalen Hurts. Pretty sure he doesn't need a backup.
No.
So waiting here. Okay, the Lily Hawkinson pick. Oh, that's fine where you took him. Okay. So I am going to take the stack.
But not Cousins?
It's not like you have to. It's not best ball, right? It's not essential to stack, but I'm going to do it. But you have to remember, too, what this is. This is our final mock before the actual NFL draft and all the rookies. Wow. I think to some extent we kind of have to honor that. And so as soon as it's my turn, I'm going to finish with a quarterback, and I'm going to create potentially a playoff making stack.
I'm trying to look at your team. Who are you taking here? Taking Geno Smith?
You're
going Caleb Williams with Keenan. With the Keenan stack.
Caleb Williams to stack with Keenan Allen. That's right.
Yeah, you're gonna regret taking Caleb Williams over Kirk Cousins. in a mock draft in April, you're gonna regret it.
I got the Prince of quarterbacks.
Is that his nickname?
According to some GM, do you see that thing?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's stupid in a funny way, or funny in a stupid way. I don't know. It's kind of stupid.
All right, and then JSC saying thoughts. I didn't realize, is Amon-Ra now that I saw you got that extension, is he now the highest paid wide receiver?
I didn't really read into it. I thought I saw 30 million or something, but I don't know. He can't be the highest paid, right? I mean, look, he deserves to get paid, but
well, I know one thing it means. It means CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson are going to get absolute bags, like heaps and heaps of money from somebody. Whether it's the Vikings and the Cowboys or not, they are going to get a large sum of money.
it says here, Sleeper, that he would tie Tyreek Hill for average annual value and have the standalone record for guaranteed money. That is amazing.
Well, there you go.
All right. Yeah, I wasn't planning to stack with Jahan Dotson. All right. Let's break it down here. Ale with the 1. CMC, he went hero RB, not zero RB. And then Waddle, DJ Moore, Kirk, Hurts, Ridley, Ramondre Chuba, Tyjae Spears, Josh Palmer, Charbonnet, Braylon Allen, Hunter Henry.
I like it. I even like that Hunter Henry pick. You know, he's one of my favorite last tight ends to grab. You got CMC. I like the wide receivers. Plenty of upside there. Got, Ramondre, I think, is a solid RB2. And then between Chuba, Spears, Charbonnet, Allen, he should be okay. We'll see. So I like it. Very good.
Always a solid team by Ale. Yeah, really good receivers there where you picked. Got Ian quarterback, nice late tight end. All good. All right, Amal. CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, and Malik Neighbors, and then followed up with Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Mixon Mostert, Dak, Downs, Gus Edwards, and backed up those positions.
Definitely love that wide receiver start. I think Henry, Mixon, Mostert, solid at running back. Andrews is good. Dak, fine. Yeah, I love that. Love that starting those first 8 picks. I think are very good. Bench, fine. I don't really think you need Jordan Love when you have Dak, especially in a quarterback league like this where there's going to be plenty of quarterbacks on the waiver wire. And I definitely don't think you need Hawk when you have Andrews. But other than that, I think this is a really good draft.
Yeah, I could have thrown some young running backs on your bench there instead of those picks, whatever. It's just realized definitely going to be the oldest running back room there. Again, old, meaning like 30. Most are Mixon Henry, but
that's true.
Good value. Good values. All right. Then at the 3, I went with Bijan, London, Devontae Adams, McBride, finally, Keenan Allen, Aaron Jones, Kamara, JSN, Corum, Wicks, Dotson, Lloyd, and Caleb Williams.
Still think you're going to regret drafting Caleb over Cousins, but we'll see. Yeah, great start. Like I said, I would have taken London if I didn't take Barkley. Jones, Kamara. I mean, hopefully at least one of the old dudes holds up all year, or at least maybe you can mix and match the old dudes, right? Like, okay, Kamara's out this week, I'll play Aaron Jones, or vice versa.
Whoever's not hurt.
JSN was a great value for sure. And then, yeah, good upside on the bench. I like it.
Yeah, I feel like I have my mid-round picks. I feel like I did get a lot of veteran discounts there. I wasn't aiming for a veteran group but yeah, whoever's not on the injury report each given week, that's my RB2. Team 4. Aiden, Tyreek Hill, Pittman, Devontae Smith, Kendall Walker, Kelsey, Kyler Murray, Najee Harris, A.D. Mitchell, Jalen Warren, Sutton, Michael Wilson, Goddard, and Eli Mitchell.
I mean, fantastic wide receiver start. I mean, Hill, Pittman, Smith, it's great. I think Walker at that point, I mean, I might prefer Derrick Henry over Walker, but it's fine. And then Kelsey seems like good value. Kyler, not good value, but I like Kyler. My issue is after that. Like, I think those first 6 picks are fine, but then you're looking at you got the Steelers 2 running backs as your RB2, basically, and then a handcuff as your RB3. I mean, I like the Mitchell pick. I don't know if you need Sutton and Michael Wilson. Like I don't even know if you needed a Donnie Mitchell, even though I like him. Like, you need running backs, right? I mean, Kenneth Walker, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren are really your only running backs that actually play on any given week. Yeah, I would have liked to see, instead of like A.D. Mitchell and Sutton, maybe some more running backs there. Like, maybe you could have gotten like even like a Chuba, a Blake Corum, somebody like that who maybe could be a starting running back.
Yeah, the first half of this draft is good. It's very solid, but it's the running back room. It's not even that it's risky. It's just there's literally no upside because you're depending on a Steelers running back being startable, and then you have, like you said, a backup. So you need some more running backs, but you have a good core at the very least. And then Ronnie got Justin Jefferson at the 5, Debo in round 2. Clayton didn't like that. Sam Laporta, Cooper Kupp, Mahomes, Monty, Brian Robinson, Brooks, and then McConkey, Curtis Samuel, Judy, Troy Franklin, and your guy J.K. Dobbins.
So again, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm fine with, like, okay, Debo isn't my pick there, but I still like Debo. I think he'll be okay. And I did actually consider Cup when I took Flowers. I think that's good value for Cup, and I think Mahomes there is great. When your running backs are only David Montgomery, Brian Robinson, and Jonathan Brooks, who I like Jonathan Brooks, but he's coming off an ACL tear. I mean, we don't even know if he's gonna be ready week 1. Like, you need more than that, especially J.K. Dobbins. I mean, that guy's coming off an ACL and an Achilles tear in basically back-to-back seasons. Like, so, like, it's fine if, like, I get it. You only had 3 receivers, so if you want to grab a McConkey, a Samuel, a Judy, a Franklin, that's fine. But I think you needed to mix some running backs in there as well for more depth.
Yeah, because it's I don't know. I mean, I guess technically a 0 RB team doesn't feel like one. So you know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. But yeah, it's mainly I just personally don't love like Judy or Curtis Samuel there. I like Troy Franklin. McConkey could be a good pick, but yeah. So lacking, I guess, solid depth. We'll put it that way. Chris, you took Jamar Chase and then Barkley Jacobs, Rasheed, talked about him, Pitts, Brian Thomas, Jalen Wright, Chase Brown, Lockett, Ferguson, the rare backup tight end for you, Tua, and Tank Bigsby. So again, you might wind up with great value for Rashi Rice. It's a slap on the wrist, or just 1 or 2 games. I think Zay Flowers was still a good value there where you took him. Brian Thomas, of course, we'll see. So no great given. Jalen Wright could be great. Yeah, you got a solid core here. So yeah, some youth mixed with some experience. I think it's pretty solid overall. Did you wind up happier with it?
It's fine. It's one of those teams that'll probably not kill me, but at the same time, it's probably doesn't have the upside I'd like for a championship team. So it's something that would have to, like, I think it will need some work, whether trades, waiver wire, or something like that to really get over the top.
All right, maybe a little. All right, and by the way, just shout out Andrea. It's back in the house. What's up, Andrea?
What's up? Hopefully you're with us tomorrow. Don't forget, that's another thing. Reminder, guys, don't forget we're going to be live streaming the draft tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. It'll be a ton of fun.
Exactly. Join us tomorrow. All right, let's keep going with this draft real quick. Mixie Madden at the 7 took the highest paid receiver in the league, and then followed up with Achane, DK, Tank, and Stroud. Got the little Houston stack there. Pickens, Javante, Zach Moss, Xavier Worthy, future Dolphin, David Njoku, Jameson Williams, Rashawn Johnson, Bucky Irving.
Wow, I think that might be. Is that the first time we've seen Bucky? Probably not. We probably drafted him really, really early in the offseason. I'll bet we drafted him. But we haven't seen Bucky Irving in a long time. Yeah, again, I feel like I'm looking at this team and I'm just like, because remember, it's a 2 running back. I guess I didn't say this, so I guess maybe that's the issue. But it's a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex league. Like Achane, Javante, Zach Moss is my running backs. I mean, look, Rashawn, okay. I mean, Bucky Irving, we'll see. I don't really like him. I don't know. We'll see. And then the wide receivers, again, kind of like my wide receivers. Like they're fine. Like, obviously, St. Brown is great. DK, I've talked about him. He's fine. Tank, I don't know. I liked him a lot more before they signed Steph or traded for Stephon Diggs. I liked Pickens a lot more before they brought in Arthur Smith. So, I don't know. Another team where I just feel like, yeah, it'll probably be okay, but it doesn't, like, jump off the page to me.
Yeah, I mean, heavily invested in that stack there, Tank CJ. So if that does pay off, that helps. Yeah, Yeah, I don't mind taking Javante there. I think he's okay there, but I don't know that I really feel warm and fuzzy about him as my RB2. So yeah, I mean I don't feel like there's bad picks anywhere really
Right.
necessarily, but this isn't like overall a team that's like my favorite team, if you know what I mean. Kyle Coleman at the 8 went with Brees and Kyron to start out, going double RB. There's Diggs in round 3, going with his ex quarterback Josh Allen, Addison, Kincaid, Hopkins, Pollard, Dobbs, Shakir, Shaheed, Keon Coleman, and Miles Sanders. We got a lot of Bills here.
By the way, doesn't it feel like a lot of times in these mocks we see Diggs and Allen on the same team?
Yes, we've seen that a couple times, which is interesting.
It is interesting. Anyways, I don't mind. Like, I think Brees was fantastic value there, and I think Kyron was fantastic value there. I like that, but I need more from my wide receivers if I'm gonna start RB than Diggs, Addison, and D Hop. I mean, even if Diggs is technically the wide receiver 1 in Houston, which I think is debatable. Addison, I mean, I liked him last year when he had Kirk Cousins. Now we don't even know who the quarterback's going to be. Hopkins with Ridley there and probably Will Levis. I mean, I don't know. I need more from my wide receivers. Like, I get the Allen pick. I think that's great value. Maybe I would have passed on Kincaid and gone for some more upside at wide receiver, like a Pickens, like a Ridley, maybe even like a Brian Thomas, somebody like that. And yeah.
Yeah, it's the receivers. I don't mind Kincaid there pairing with Allen, of course, assuming they don't take one of the elite wideouts tomorrow. But yeah, it's like Diggs and Addison and Hopkins. All of those guys are around or 2 earlier than I would take them. So you're basically counting on Diggs to be former Stephon Diggs. Without that, I think you might be hurting a receiver. So we'll see how it plays out, though. Twisted Bliss got Puka and Olave, Rashad White, James Cook, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Christian Watson, Zamir White, Jerome Ford, Brandon Cooks, Purdy at quarterback, Rico in round 12, and Kid Otten.
Well, when you get to the last round tight end, you get what you get, I guess. But I like this team a lot. I mean, Puka and Olave, White and James Cook, and then you get McLaurin, Deontay Johnson. Look, I'm not super high on Christian Watson this year, but if Christian Watson is my wide receiver 5, I'll gamble. And then you got White and Ford. I mean, yeah, maybe if I'm going to nitpick here, I would have liked the running back like Swift or Benson over Watson just because you already have 4 good receivers. But overall, I like this team a lot. I like a lot of the players. I think this might be my favorite team so far.
Yeah, and we know Twisted Bliss has been drafting with us pretty much every week. This looks just like a team that you would draft. This is exactly some of your players at the best spots. And hey, I would be happy with this team too. Puka and Olave, Rashad White, James Cook, 1-2 punch there. Yeah, I like it too.
I think honestly, the only thing if it was my team that I would have done differently is I probably would have gone DeAndre Swift because I would have forgotten that Clayton is behind me and I can't get Trey Benson in like round 9.
True.
But I think I would have gone with one of those running backs, and I think if he had, this team would be fantastic. I mean, 4 high upside wide receivers. You'd have 5 good to great running backs. Obviously, you waited on QB and tight end, but I mean, hey, that's not the worst thing. So really like that team.
Yeah. And waiting on QB tight end, totally smart there. Yeah, I like the squad. All right, and then there's Clayton. We took Garrett Wilson and Brandon Ayuk, Etienne, T. Higgins, James Conner, Jaden Reed, of course, Trey Benson, Burrow, Kendre, Bowers, Pearsall, Baker, and a lot of people talking about Tracy. He's the buzzy pick here. Tyrone Tracy, for those who don't know. Here you go. What do you think of the whole squad?
Yeah. I'll say, first of all, I think Burrow was the steal of the draft, and I almost took where I took Brian Thomas, and I probably should have, honestly. I mean, Burrow, are we this low on Burrow now that we're going 8th round Joe Burrow, really? But again, another team I really like here. You got Garrett Wilson, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins. I think this is more fair for Jaden Reed. I'd still probably go Deontay over Jaden Reed, but I think this is a more fair spot for him. We normally see him go higher than this. I think this is more fair. Etienne, Connor, Benson, who I like, Kendra Miller, Tracy. Okay, we'll see. I know there's a whole, like he was a receiver. We've seen this with guys like Antonio Gibson. It doesn't always work. We'll see. But whatever, it's your last pick. You got Pearsall. I'm not a big Baker guy. We'll see where he goes. You got Bowers. So I don't know if I quite like it as much as Twisted Bliss's team, but it's probably right there with Ailes' team.
Yeah, I mean, the last 3 picks aren't the kind of buzzy pre-draft rookies that I'm all over, but it doesn't really matter because probably half the guys that we are taking at the end of these drafts will wind up doing nothing anyway. So that's fine. I appreciate the commitment to drafting rookies still. I think this is my favorite team now. Look at this. I would love to have that start. I think you're solid at every position. Jaden Reed going as your wide receiver 4, Benson as your RB3, Burrow, great value. Bowers could actually wind up just being a steal there. So I like this team a lot. And then there's Stinger. This is his first official mock of this preseason. So AJB, Marvin Harrison, Mari Cooper, Pacheco, Lamar, Godwin, Swift, Ingram, Nick Chubb, had to get a giant in there. It's Devin Singletary, Demario Douglas, Ty Chandler, and Darnell, of course.
Mooney. Is this the year? Is this the breakout? We'll see. I mostly like it. I will say Godwin's not the guy I'm taking there. I mean, when guys like Reed, Deontay, even Pickens, even maybe Ridley are on the board. I mean, we saw last year just what's the upside for Godwin, and it's not like it's going to be different this year. So, and then same with Cooper. Like I'm not off of Cooper, but I think 3rd round Cooper is a little too early. But other than that, I think the rest of the picks are fine. I think Evan Ingram continues to be one of the most undervalued players in all of fantasy football. If you want to gamble on Nick Chubb in the 9th round, that's fine. So yeah, it's really just more like the guy. I think there were better wide receivers on the board when you took Godwin and Cooper personally.
Yeah, well, the Godwin pick is, I think it's okay because of where you got him. I mean, it's debatable about Jaden Reed, Deontay Johnson. Those guys might be comparable. Me, it's more the Cooper pick because, we did that video, you remember a couple weeks ago, guys, I'm sick of drafting. And I was like, I'm sick. It's like round 4, maybe early round 5. I'm like, okay, I guess Amari Cooper's still there. I'll take him. I mean, I'm definitely not taking him in round 3. I would even have taken Nico over him, maybe Adunze, Higgins, Zay Flowers for sure. So not a bad pick. It's just to me too early. So, and I think like Pacheco is fine there, but not. I think I almost would rather have just committed to 0 RB, like take another receiver there, and then just go running back late. But overall, this team should definitely be a contender at least. And then push Enterprise. That's a 12. We got Gibbs and JT, Nico Dunze, Hollywood, AR Kittle, Jacoby Myers, Eckler, Gabe Davis, Schultz, Algier, and Rashad Bateman, who if I saw correctly, actually got extended for some reason.
He did. He got extended, and Coach Harbaugh is talking him up this offseason.
This is the year. Finally.
This is the year. Love that start. Gibbs Taylor. If you're going to go RB there, I think that's good. I mean, I might prefer Kyron, but I think that's still fantastic. Kyron JT neck and neck for me. So great start there. Again, I'm just going to say Nico. I'm okay with Odunze. I'm okay with Hollywood. I'm definitely okay with AR. Nico, not the wide receiver I'm taking there. I'm taking T over him. I'm taking Zay over him. I'm probably taking Kirk over him, but it's okay. Splitting hairs there. Kittle fine, I think, in the 7th. The second half of the draft, very underwhelming for me. I mean, Jacoby Myers, Gabe Davis, like really, he couldn't. Like Gabe Davis couldn't do it in Buffalo with Josh Allen. Now he's got to go to Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence and do it when they already have like Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, I don't know. First half of the draft, good. Second half, so.
I honestly keep forgetting that Jacksonville has Gabe Davis because they were like, oh, Christian Kirk now has got no competition. They doesn't. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot they got Gabe Davis.
And here's the thing: if you look at Calvin Ridley, like the way the Jags used Calvin Ridley last year, they were like, line up on the line of scrimmage on the outside and just get pressed to death. That's going to be Gabe Davis this year. He's just going to be out on the outside getting pressed to death.
Yeah, basically a decoy. But anyways, like I actually like the first half of this draft. I'm okay with Nico there. Odunze, I mean, we'll see after tomorrow, but I think right now it's fine there. So I like getting the upside with Richardson. Kittle is not my tight end of choice necessarily, but I can't argue with the value. So the bench is a little underwhelming, but overall, you got a good core. So pretty well done from the 12, especially considering where you drafted.
Yes.
All right, speaking of drafts, tomorrow, finally, it's here. So join us. We'll be live for all the picks, as long as we can hang at least. And we'll break down all the shocks and all the emotions will be felt by all the fans. And we'll break down, of course, what does it mean for fantasy? So check it out if you haven't already. Put the notifications on so you know as soon as we go live. No better way to watch the NFL draft than from the fantasy perspective. That's what we're going to bring to you. So hopefully we'll see you all there.